Everyone, how close are the Lakers to being an NBA contender, like a legit contender? Now, Anthony Davis, LeBron James, Russell Westbrook, if they get into the NBA playoffs, in my opinion, the West is so wide open. There isn't any team that I look at and go, man, the Lakers have no chance of beating that team, especially with the way that Anthony Davis is playing and kind of turned his season around and just playing at an MVP level. LeBron James, he's had, good moments, bad moments, but for the most part, I think playoff LeBron, he's going to show up. He's going to be dominant force. Russ in the playoffs, he's always had great stats in the playoffs, and that intensity I could see being very valuable for the Lakers. He's kind of became the Lakers sort of playmaker in so many ways, especially off the bench, which I think has some real value. They do have some really nice pieces. My concern is just the lack of players with playoff experience outside of like these three guys, like Walker, guys like that, like key contributors, Austin Reeves even, the lack of playoff experience could be an issue. But nonetheless, I believe that if they're locked in, this is a team that I think could shock some people. I don't think anybody would be shocked if the Lakers won the championship this year, because everyone would look at it as like, you got LeBron James and Anthony Davis, right? Like you have two of the top 5 guys, at least the way they're playing right now, top 5 guys in the league, maybe worse, top 10 guys. So it's not out of the realm to think, okay, like the Lakers have a real chance. Again, especially with the West, everyone's kind of lumped together in this like equal sort of playing scale. I think the Lakers could have a real chance. Now, personally, I think the Lakers do need another solid move or two. I think they need a couple, one, guys with experience, 2, guys that can come in and, just be scoring, shooting, things like that, preferably some kind of 3-and-D type guys. But I don't think the Lakers are too far off. I don't know if the Lakers need the big blockbuster trade that many of us thought that they needed to begin with. I would really like to see maybe a little minor trade, but Anthony Davis has to play at an MVP level. LeBron James has got to play the level that he's playing, especially in that Spurs game. That was like peak LeBron. That was a great LeBron. He's got to cut over on the turnovers. Russ has got to figure out how to put the scoring and playmaking together, right? It's kind of one or the other right now for him. He's either getting you, like 10 points and like 12 assists, or he's getting you like, 18 points and 3 assists. As soon as he could figure out how to put the 15 points with the 12 assists, I think that we could see the Lakers elevate to another level, right? Because he's got just such a good chemistry, especially with the bigs. Him and Anthony Davis running that pick and roll, him and Winnie Gabriel, him and Thomas Bryant. He's got some real just like chemistry with the bigs. And it's just the way that he's operating and the aggression on that pick and roll. And look, I've said this and I'm sticking to it. If for whatever reason the Lakers make it to the Western Conference Finals and they're healthy, right? Anthony Davis is good, Russ is good, LeBron is good. If they make it to the Western Conference Finals, I really believe that we could see the Lakers win a championship, because I think LeBron James is going to look at it as like, okay, I need to win 8 games here. And I really could see LeBron kind of turning back the clock, and we see like a 27-year-old LeBron James, because he's going to look at it as like, I might not have another chance to get to this point again. I just need to get 8 wins. Let me go get these 8 wins. And I could see LeBron kind of just turning back the clock to be that next level LeBron. But I also think the resurgence or, addition, I guess, of Dennis Schroeder and Thomas Bryant are really beneficial as well, right? Schroeder had an incredible game. Schroeder really adds kind of what we expected Patrick Beverley and Kendrick Nunn to be. He's kind of both of them in one. A guy that could give you the 15 points a game, but also could play that pesty, type of defense that could really, be beneficial to the Lakers, play both sides of the ball. He can run and operate with the team. He also makes Patrick Beverley and Kendrick Nunn expendable. If he plays like he did against the Spurs regularly, then, you can make an argument he makes Russ expendable too, to where you could trade those 3 guys and get the package. But I don't mind the idea of Russ coming off the bench and staying in that role, and just them using Patrick Beverley and Kendrick Nunn to just go get a piece or two, go get some solid guys. I know a lot of people want to see Miles Turner come to the Lakers. I just don't think that that's the biggest need the Lakers have, especially with the way Anthony Davis is playing. I'd rather see them go get like a scorer, like just like a more pure scorer, or go get like some shooting, something like that. Like you could go get like Josh Richardson and like Doug McDermott, right? I'd rather see them go do something like that rather than go get Miles Turner, right? I just think those two guys are going to give you better production, give you some floor spacing, and also provide, with Josh Richardson, some defense. And I just think that that would make them, slightly better. Now, again, does that make them an actual contender? I don't know. But I think Thomas Bryant coming in, and he's scored at least 8 points in every game he's played in limited minutes. If he could get more minutes, I could see him contributing more. Schroeder is starting to come into his own, right? He came off of finger surgery, so you would imagine it's going to take him a little time to kind of get right, to get his body right, to get comfortable handling, shooting, all that stuff. But he looked really good against the Spurs. If he can continue that, that'll really help. And look, since the Lakers started the season 0-5, they're 7-6 since then. So they're over 500 right now. And Dennis Schroeder and Thomas Bryant just got back. LeBron James wasn't playing in, a handful of those games. Anthony Davis has missed 2 games. So maybe if they can kind of put it all together and everyone's healthy, maybe we could see a nice little run here from the Lakers. December is going to be tough, right? We're really going to see how good or bad this Laker team is come December, because we just have this juggernaut schedule against a lot of really good teams. And I think that we're going to get a better idea and understanding of, are we close? Are we there? Or are we that far away, right? Because we haven't seen this team fully healthy and complete yet, right? Because you didn't have these two guys for pretty much the majority of the season. And then when they did come back, you didn't have LeBron James. And then when LeBron James came back, you didn't have Anthony Davis. So we're finally going to get a couple games, hopefully, beginning with the Pacers game. We're going to get to see everybody healthy and see what that looks like, and see, can we start rattling off some wins? Can we continue this streak? Can we get back to 500 and over 500 come December 15th? And then that will put Rob Pelinka in a position to go, okay, like, we're there. Right? We started 0-5, and since then we've gotten to 500, which means we have a positive win rate. We're somewhere in the, mild middle of the pack teams, or maybe we're slightly better, whatever. But okay, what pieces do we need to go make an actual deal? And now you could look at these 3 guys, especially if Dennis Schroeder can continue to play the way he's playing. You could look at maybe moving these 3 guys to go get a package to put around to actually take us to contention, right? Or, like I said, keep Russ. Let Russ operate that second unit. Let him hopefully figure it out. Because I really think if he can figure out the scoring with the playmaking, because he's kind of just became this like almost full-time playmaker. And I know a lot of people want to see him score more, but we're having success with him as that playmaker. I trust the ball in his hands more than LeBron James is right now. Like, seriously, Russell Westbrook is making better decisions with the basketball, getting other guys involved more, and just being more effective. He also is not turning the ball over as much as LeBron, right? So, and in that sense, it's like, okay, like Russ, like he's doing his job as a playmaker, as a primary ball handler. And so if he can just figure out how to put the scoring with the assist and the playmaking, I really think the Lakers could move up another notch. Again, does that make us contenders? I mean, it depends on how much he impacts the game and his scoring, right? I mean, if he could get to like 16 to 18 a game and still give you like, 8 to 10 assists a game, I really think the Lakers are going to be that much better. I know he's like averaging like 16, 6, and 8 or something like that, but he's not really consistently putting those numbers up. I need to see him consistently, be able to night in and night out give us like 16 to 18, and then also give us the assist still. And if he can, well then now with Dennis Schroeder coming in and he contributing with his, 10 to 15, Thomas Bryant, his, 8 to 12 a night, whatever. Now we just got more of a scoring output, right? And if the defense can continue to pick it up, we'd be really good. Now the Spurs game, the Lakers didn't really play defense, but to be fair, they were coming off of a back-to-back. Spurs didn't really play defense either. And as great as the Spurs shot, we still beat them. Like, usually, I don't care how bad of a team you are. You put up 138 points, you usually win that game, right? More times than not, you're winning that game when you put up 138 points. The Lakers were still able to put up more. Also, their three-point shooting is starting to average out, right? The Lakers went from being dead last in the league with 3-point percentage to over the last like 5 games or so, they're 16th in the league at like 35, just under, 35. I think it's like 35.7%, which is, basically around slightly above league average. So they're basically at rank 16th since this kind of resurgence of the Lakers. And that's where I think they're going to be. If they can be like the 35 range, somewhere around there, which is basically what they shot in the bubble, right? If they could get that, they're going to win more games than they're going to lose because guys are starting to knock down shots, right? Even guys like Kendrick Nunn starting to hit threes, but Walker's been really good. Troy Brown has been a model of consistency. We're starting to see guys start hitting shots, and that's big. I mean, at one point, Russell Westbrook was our best three-point shooter. He was shooting like 42% at one point. Now he's regressed to, I believe it's like 35, 36%, somewhere around there, but he's still shooting pretty good. And he's still, handling the ball. He's still doing a lot. He's just at a rough shooting and scoring lately, so it's dropped his averages and his percentages. But if he could kind of get back to being that, I think, again, if he could put it all together, the package together, I think he will help elevate us to another level. And then we could look at Kendrick Nunn, Patrick Beverley, maybe moving those two and go get a piece or two that can come in and just be another contributor, and then see where we're at. Again, December is going to be a tough. It's going to be a real storytelling type stretch. We're really going to see if the Lakers can turn it around and if the Lakers can really be one of the better upper echelon teams. Now, I know some people are going to say, which is true to an extent, well, the Lakers, yeah, they're over 500 because they're beating all the bad teams. Yes, but they also beat the Pelicans. They also beat the Nuggets. I do believe they should have beaten Portland. You can make an argument that they should have beaten the Suns. They fell apart late, and that was without LeBron. I think if LeBron played, I definitely think they would have beat the Suns. The Warriors, they had an opportunity to beat the Warriors. They've been able to win almost every game that they've played, except for like maybe 2 or 3. Outside of that, like every game was a winnable game. If they can start turning those games into actual wins, then they're going to be pretty good. I don't think the Lakers are as far off as they looked in the beginning of the season. Also, chemistry starting to come around. Guys are starting to get more comfortable with each other. Guys are starting to understand each other more. I mean, this team is going to continue to grow and blossom and develop, and guys are going to understand the roles better. Not just that, but since LeBron's came back, LeBron has been in the offense more. In the beginning of the season, it was a lot of just like dribbling out the clock and then step back, fade away threes that were just killing us. Like LeBron in many cases was shooting us out of games and the ball was sticking and wasn't being, moved around. Where the Lakers are starting to average like 29 assists a game, which is crazy. Like the Lakers are putting up, Spurs dynasty assists and, the Warriors level of assists when they would go on their championship runs and stuff. Again, I'm not saying that means the Lakers are now the Spurs and the Warriors, but it's a good indication. It's a good spot in the right direction. And it shows that the team is sharing the ball. Guys are getting involved. You're starting to see more games where it's 5, 6, 7, 8 guys all getting, in double figures or near double figures. Where before in the beginning of the season, it was like LeBron, Davis, and then Lonnie Walker, or LeBron, Davis, and Westbrook. Like every night, it was like 3 guys that were giving you the bulk of the scoring. Nobody else was really contributing, and we were losing games. Well, now it's like every night you got Walker, LeBron, and Davis, but you also got, Troy Brown giving you 8, Thomas Bryant giving you 8. You got Dennis Schroeder giving you, 15, 20. You got, Austin Reeves stepping up and scoring and putting up more consistent scoring numbers. Kendrick Nunn is starting to score more and getting you, 8 to 9 a game. Like stuff like all of a sudden, all these guys are starting to chip in, and it's really helping the Lakers to just look better in the scoring department. Their 3-point percentage is starting to average out, which I've said from day one, there's no way the Lakers are going to shoot, 23, 24% the entire season. Are they a great 3-point shooting team? Absolutely not. Could we use some shooters? Absolutely. But we're not the worst 3-point shooting team in the league. We're just not. Just based on averages with guys, we're not. And you're seeing over the last handful of games, Lakers are averaged out. Lakers are starting to shoot, and it's been consistent. It hasn't been with just 1 or 2 games. It's been several games now. And they even had the bad game where they shot like 23% again or 29% again. And now And it's even with that bad game, it's still averaged out to about 35%, which means that they've shot really well in the other games. Now, they're not going to shoot 45, 50% from three like they have in some of these games recently. But again, guys are starting to get hot. If they could just stick to their averages, then I think the Lakers will have that increase as well. But all in all, the Lakers got to weather the storm at the least, right? Because then that gives Rob Pelinka an incentive to go and make a move, go and make a trade to try to get pieces to maybe put us over the top to the next level, right? I don't think, personally, Miles Turner and Buddy Hield are the answer. Like, if the Lakers did the deal, I wouldn't be upset about it, but I just don't think that that's, like, what the Lakers need. I think the Lakers need another scorer that can consistently, night in and night out, go get you 15 to 20 a night. That would take a lot of pressure off of LeBron, a lot of pressure off of Davis, a lot of pressure off of Walker and Reeves, and not have to have them give you, 15 a night for you to win. You just get a guy that is a proven scorer. Like I said, like a Terry Rozier, something like that. If you get somebody like that, or go get a couple shooters, I even mentioned in a video earlier today, like maybe like a Terrence Ross and like Gary Harris, right? Get two guys that can score, that can put the ball on the floor, go get you a bucket, but they can also shoot, especially Terrence Ross. Terrence Ross is shooting like 40% from three this season, right? If we could get like two or three of those guys that can come in, be guys that can handle the ball and go and get you a bucket, but also knock down shots and play off the ball, that would be huge for the Lakers. And I think that that's really kind of what the Lakers need right now, and then kind of go reevaluate. I don't think the Lakers are as far as we think, especially with the way Anthony Davis is playing right now. If he can continue to play that, and then LeBron James coming in, being more of trusting his teammates more, and allowing the ball not to stick as much, and him being able to consistently give you 25 to 30 a night, and then if Russ can figure it out and put everything together, I really think the Lakers could make some noise. Are they like a bona fide lock contender? No. But to be fair, it's like, what trade, even the Buddy Hield and Miles Turner trade, like, I don't believe, does it make us better? Sure. But does it make us like a bona fide contender? Probably not, right? Spurs trade, like, does it make us better? Yes. Does it make us a bona fide contender? Probably not. There's only usually year in and year out a couple teams like that, right? Like Boston, the Bucks. Those are probably like the two that you're like, okay, like those two are probably like the best two teams in the league. Then maybe you look at a team like the Suns. Okay, maybe the Suns, but I don't really buy the Suns either. I just don't think the Western Conference is as strong as it appears. Everybody's kind of even in the standings, even as poorly as we have played. We're only like 4 or 5 games out of like second place. We're not that far behind, and we still have a guy named LeBron James. We still have a guy named Anthony Davis, and those two are still arguably the two best duos in the league as far as like everything that they provide. So I would take my chances. But I do think we need a little more. I do think right now, I think we're a middle of the pack team. I think we're better than the bad teams, obviously, but we're not as good as like the Milwaukees, the Bostons, maybe the Suns in general, although Anthony Davis always eats the Suns alive. And I do believe Anthony Davis doesn't get hurt, we win that playoff series in 2021, and we very likely go back-to-back. But even then, now, in comparison now, I still think we could beat the Suns. I think LeBron in the playoffs is going to eat them alive. I think Anthony Davis is going to eat them alive. But still, I mean, are the Suns better? Yes. Are we a bad matchup? I think so, because that's a big thing too, right? We've seen lots of like 1 seeds and stuff like that. Like, think of like Dallas back in, what was it, like 2008 or something like that, where they were the 1 seed and they lost in the first round to who was it, the Warriors, I believe, and everyone was shocked by it. And it was like the We Believe team or whatever, and it was just a bad matchup, right? Matchups have an important factor in NBA. And there's not a single team in the West that can stop Anthony Davis. There's not a single team in the West that can stop LeBron James. So it's just, can the role guys and other guys step up and actually do what is necessary? I don't know. But I don't think this team is as far away as people think. Like, I'm not worried about like the Grizzlies. I'm not worried about Dallas. And speaking of Dallas, I mean, Dallas was in the Western Conference Finals last year. Like, it's not out of the realm of possibility to think the Lakers could get there too. You know, you get the right matchups, you get the right places. I mean, we got to make the playoffs first, obviously. But I think if everyone's healthy, I think we do make the playoffs. And I do think like we can make some noise. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, so I want to hear from you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. How far away do you think the Lakers are? Do you think the Lakers, would you be shocked if the Lakers won a championship? Do you think there's no way? Do you think, however you feel, good, bad, ugly, somewhere in between? Let me know down in the comments section.